My name is Tom Ludwig, I'm from Levittown, and I'm a Republican candidate for Congress in New York's 3rd Congressional District. The people of our district aren't just suffering under the Biden administration, they've also been failed by their member of Congress who lied about who he was and put himself ahead of serving the people who elected him. My mission is to restore that trust, put our local and national economy on the right track, and solve the threats our community faces from the migrant crisis, crime, and the fentanyl epidemic. I will fight for the people of this district, many of whom grew up in middle-class homes just like the ones I did. September 11th, 2001 was a pivotal day for me as it was for so many others. My friends and neighbors lost loved ones, and those events plunged our nation into an era of chaos. I knew that day I had to make the security of our nation my personal responsibility. Just a few months earlier, I had been commissioned as an Army infantry officer, and I knew I was right where I needed to be, in a position to defend my country. I became an Army Ranger in a Green Beret, and over a 20-year career, I served everywhere from the Middle East to Europe to Asia and South America. I led over 180 combat missions in Iraq and Afghanistan, and as a Special Forces Company Commander, I was given command of all special operations in Central America, Colombia, and Peru. In Europe, I led our efforts to counter Russian aggression. In South America and the Middle East, I helped establish schools and medical clinics while also targeting drug cartels and terrorists. After retiring from the military and finishing grad school, I planned to return home to Long Island and finish writing my books, but again, I found our nation in a state of chaos. And not because of an external threat like we faced on September 11th, but because of an internal threat, failure of leadership and a failure of trust. And this failure has come at a deep personal cost to Long Island families, just like the one I grew up in. The open border has resulted in a migrant crisis and has turned New York into a border state. And that has brought Chinese-made fentanyl that is responsible for over 70% of the overdose deaths on Long Island. Out-of-control spending from DC has caused record inflation and interest rates that have put home ownership and small businesses at risk. Crime is out of control as our justice system puts criminals ahead of victims. American weakness abroad has emboldened our enemies and encouraged their aggression. And our failure to develop our own energy resources has made us more dependent on others than ever before. I committed myself to our nation and our Constitution over 20 years ago when I was sworn into the Army, and I'm renewing that commitment now as a Republican candidate for New York's 3rd Congressional District. I will deliver the trust, respect, and leadership we need to solve the problems our community and our nation are facing. That means a permanent solution to our border crisis with a focus on national security, eradicating the fentanyl trade, and restoring the rule of law. That means restraining government spending to control inflation, reduce interest rates, and bring our budget into balance. That means a strong military and sound strategic leadership to protect and defend America's way of life. That means backing our police so they can do their job and ending the revolving door on the justice system so career criminals cannot continue to target innocent victims. And it means strengthening America at home through energy independence so we can be strong abroad and secure our national interests. I would be honored to have your support in the Republican primary for Congress in New York's 3rd Congressional District. Learn more about my campaign, make a contribution, or sign up to volunteer at ludwigforcongress.com.